fighter Batterina World Bantamweight title. Entering the cage first into the red corner, Dan Sweet White.
Dan Sweetwhite from Siam. Siam, such a they've been on Battle Arena forever as well. Lots of champions from Team Siam.
Exactly.
Oh, good walkout music.
Coming in for a good time is the man from Siam.
Bit of Queen.
Dan White. Sweet.
And we've seen him before. He's a good fighter. Very, very skilled. Good at everything.
And he wants that world strap. He wants to take it off the waist of Duncan Djillali. He's wearing lots of layers.
Those shiny shorts. I love some shiny shorts. So old school, like points kickboxing. Will he be having a good time?
Well, he's coming out to Queen, and he wants to be the king, does Dan White.
Will they stop him now? That's the question.
I believe Dan White has a very unorthodox style, doesn't he?
Yep, wild. Wild man.
Wild style.
And you can't stop him now.
No, we can't.
I'm so looking forward to this one. This is for the world title. The Battle Arena world title. That is huge. Huge, huge, huge.
He's going to be having a ball.
This is our new and improved Battle Arena show. We have day before weigh-ins. We have a hand-wrapping team. And we have the lovely Sophie doing all the interviews. Sophie's actually a blue belt from Browleys. Did you know that, Steve?
Is she?
She is.
She looks like she can kick some butt.
We're all jiu-jitsu people. You're a purple belt. I rock my white belt.
We've all been converted.
We've all been converted.
Got to give Chris a big props for earning his black belt just before the end of last year.
You just do the time. You do enough classes. If you stick with it long enough, they have to give it to you. That was my theory.
Oh, that's a good idea. I need to go to more classes.
When I started jiu-jitsu, there was like London and Birmingham, nothing else. I used to travel from Oxford to Birmingham. I used to do more driving than training. But it was worth it.
Definitely in the end.
And I come home, I had some judo mats I got off an old friend. Used to put them on the floor in the garden, bit of duct tape, show my friends the moves I'd learned. How MMA in the UK has changed. Gyms everywhere, black belts everywhere. Amazing gyms like Siam MMA.
With amazing fighters that are worthy of world titles and world title shots.
Into the blue corner, Duncan Djillali.
I mean, is he the most popular guy at Battle Arena? He's got to be up there.
He's definitely up there.
Skilled,
him,
handsome,
McElwaite,
friendly.
Yep. Man, and everybody has the song, "Oh, Duncan Djillali." He's definitely lent himself well, and he represents Prime MMA out of Dunstable. He's looking for his first defense.
In 2 different weights, right, already?
Yep, 2 different weights, bantam and feather. And right now, the bantamweight world title is going to be on the line. I've been looking forward to this fight since it was announced. This is going to be an amazing fight. Anytime Duncan Djillali steps in the cage, it's fireworks. Similarly with Dan Sweetwhite.
You know what I'd say about Duncan Djillali? And this is not a horrible criticism, but he's never a knockout guy. He's always accumulation. He'll wear you down.
Yep.
Big angles, different shots, different looks. We've never seen him land, a huge shot. It's usually 10 shots. Just bam, bam, bam. Little pot shots, one after the other. And we know he takes everything seriously. You know, he's got his strength and conditioning coach, striking, grappling, wrestling. He does everything right. Super high level training partners. Does everything correctly. He's completely dedicated to the sport. And that's what we want to see here at Battle Arena.
He's a real tactician.
And a handsome boy.
He's got the look. And if you ever see him after the fight with his Harry Potter glasses on.
5 3-minute rounds. And it is for the vacant Battle Arena World Bantamweight title. Introducing first a fighter in the red corner, weighing 61.2 kilograms. Representing Cheyenne MMA, Dan Sweetwhite. And his opponent, the fighter in the blue corner, weighing 61.2 kilograms. representing Prime MMA, Duncan Djillali.
Real crowd favourite here at Battle Arena, Duncan.
The fans have traveled from Dunstable. They've come to Birmingham to cheer on and elevate their world champion, Duncan Djillali, who's putting it all on the line tonight against Dan White from Siam MMA.
Got Dan Sweet White in the red and white, Duncan Djillali in the plain white.
It'd be a bit of a feeling out process usually in these kinds of fights.
We see that more the higher level fight. Now we're fighting for belts. This is a lot more of feeling things out.
Right
not
hand
just
lands from
swinging
both
for the
fighters.
fences.
Ooh.
Oh, big overhand right from Duncan on the end. Just skimmed Dan.
Ooh, another one comes off the crown of. Yeah. Duncan really knows what to expect. He knows that he might not be the most powerful fighter in the cage, but he is going to mix it up. He's going to beat you with strategy, with accumulation, as you said so eloquently, Chris. Now he gets backed into the cage and he eats a knee for his trouble. Put onto his back by a big double leg.
And early on in Duncan's Battle Arena career, we saw him have problems where he got taken down very easily and maybe not as good on the floor as he was on his feet, but in his last few fights he's shown real improvement, and you can see already he's setting up that triangle trick. He's trying to get his right leg over, trying to sneak in that triangle. Has he got it already?
I think he has.
Oh,
he's got the over.
In. He needs to get his right foot under his left knee and get a nice angle.
He's got to get the angle, otherwise he can be stacked. He needs to
Oh,
reach up and grab his own
tight.
shin. If he can reach up and grab his own shin, I think he'll have it.
Yeah, if he can reach up with that left hand, pull his shin in, get it tight underneath his foot.
There's calls from Dan Sweetwhite's corner to posture up. Duncan's looking to strike a bit, maybe to disrupt Dan.
What Duncan? He switched to a beautiful arm lock transition. That was so slick. Oh, but great escape from Dan. Just stepped over. You can see his arm. The second his arm got extended, he stepped over and just got the angle to get out of it.
A very slick move by Duncan Djillali. Again, showing different looks, showing a real evolution of his game. Unfortunately, Dan White now transitioning to the back. He's got one hook in deeply.
What Duncan needs to do now is slide his shoulders out. It's a bit odd, but you want to kind of lay next to your partner like you're laying in bed next to each other. You don't want to turn away because then they can climb on your back even more. He needs to slide out so he's laying next to him.
And I think Dan White's aware of that because he's looking to step over.
Oh, Duncan, is he going to finish on top? That power hook meant he had great control. Duncan looking for the neck.
He might be. He has been training with Sam Creasy over there at Ultimate Athlete in Luton. And Sam Creasy's got one of the most brutal guillotines in the game. But he's got to be careful not to be up too high. He'll get doubled again. Big knees landing right now for Dan White.
The athleticism of Dan Sweetwhite. Just the power. You can see how strong he is. Just the pressure, relentless pressure. Duncan.
Big single leg there with the head inside. Really good chest pressure and way to get down.
Oh, this is going to be a hard round to score. Even Duncan, even in the last 10 seconds, I was about to say Duncan's at least finished on the bottom, but he's thrown up a reverse triangle. What a hard round to score. Duncan, armbar, triangle attempt.
Wow, what?
But Dan White with the pressure, with the forward pace, with the takedown.
Taking the chair, especially not at this level, but I think it just weakens your legs because you got to stand up and then you've got that first moment of stepping out in the round, realizing that you're a little bit heavier than you were 5 seconds ago.
But both fighters looking fresh. I mean, Dan Sweetwhite smiling, looking happy. Duncan was stood with his arms up between rounds.
Taking breath in, opening up the chest, making sure that he's getting all that oxygen to those muscles that he's been working.
I was always much more of the leant over like an asthmatic shrimp.
Well, Chris, that's because you're not a wrestler, buddy. Here we go. Another feeling out process begins the second round. Duncan showing the hips, maybe mixing up kicks. Big left hand, looping hand. Oh, we're seeing some changing of stances there from Dan Sweetwhite.
Dan is landing some heavy kicks. I think if he focused more on the kicks, he'd do a lot better.
Nice slapping kick there. The kick lands to the back leg of Duncan. As Duncan switches, Sweetwhite comes forward with a body kick.
Both fighters picking shots, using angles, footwork, in and out.
Nice. Check that one. And now we're in the over-under with knees going to the body.
Dan Sweetwhite throwing those knees.
Duncan's saying he might have been a bit low, but he's not too worried about it. He'll keep fighting. Heart of a champion.
Balls of steel.
You'd have to have him to be fighting for a world title here on Battle Arena 50.
This is what we've seen with Duncan in previous fights. It's just that there's a little bit of cage work, a little bit of pressure. Maybe it's just
he just gets a little bit out of position. He gets a little bit too high. He doesn't quite have his head positioned.
It's the lanky fighter's problem. You know, it's hard to get your head below theirs where you're just naturally it's so much higher. I struggled this myself. You know, I'm a very tall fighter, and cage casters, I've always really, really struggled with it.
Dan Sweetwhite's doing a real good job of making Duncan fight in with him. Getting a lot of blood. Oh, come on. Yeah, might have to take a point away for that one.
I think he's worn in. Dan Sweetwhite keeps grabbing the fence, breaking the rules. So we'll possibly have a point taken away. If I was Duncan, I want it started straight away.
Yep, get back on him. Good. There's another calf kick. We've seen a couple of those tonight.
It's the thing to do now.
Oh, big double from Duncan Djillali.
Great takedown. This is what Duncan wants. We know he's got submissions. We know he's got top game. It's an awkward position his neck is in there, though.
Again, more Von Flue, more pressure.
Yeah.
Pressure on the toes, and he steps over, but he's going to allow himself into half guard.
Wasn't bad, though. It took the pressure off the neck. Oh, head and arm triangle. He's thinking about it. He's trying to drive his left knee out so that he can finish up this choke.
He's got to keep that hand in the position. He's got to keep his head in good position here.
Dan White sneaking his arm out back to a safe place. Oh, he's put it back in again. He's very vulnerable to that head and arm choke if he keeps his arm there.
Yeah, I see Duncan pushing leg. He's push a little bit lower on the foot.
If he can push and step over. Oh, but Dan using the
careful.
space to try and get back to his feet. Such a little chess match going on right here.
This is a very good indication of the level that you need to be at to fight for the world titles here on Battle Arena.
Oh, is he looking for a Darce choke? He's trying to sneak the arm through. Oh, he's just trying to use the grip.
Quarter Nelson.
Quarter Nelson, that's what I was looking for. To control him back to the floor.
You need to have his hand on the back of his head there to make it work. I'd like to see him hopefully. Good, and there you see the composure of Duncan Djillali. He hears the bell. He doesn't try to sneak one in. He's not trying to take an unfair advantage.
I'm not sure how the judges will see it, but I see it as a round apiece.
Must be. Must be. That takedown and that control at the end must have felt it for Duncan, whereas Dan White had the same in the first. But as this is eking on, the power of Dan White should subside.
And even the first, I'm not sure. Maybe some of the judges would have given it to Duncan because he did have that triangle and the armbar. For me, that armbar was very close, and that's a bit like landing a big punch that the guy manages to get out, recover from.
Very close, isn't it? It's almost like sitting the guy down.
It should be seen the same way. But we're lucky here at Battle Arena. We have, expert ISK judges and referees. It means that there's no dodgy decisions. Although I think in the past Duncan was possibly cheated out of a fight that I thought he won quite comfortably, but everyone sees things a different way.
That's the truth. And you can't leave it in the hands of the judges if you want to have any complaints afterwards.
I think Duncan's got to do the same. When he was on top, big control. I think fake some big shots, bring Dan Sweetwhite's hands up, shoot underneath, just like he did last time. And for Dan, land some big power. More of those kicks. Those kicks are definitely working.
Big power and then go low for a takedown. Has to be a similar strategy for both. But you see there, Dan White's hips are very close. That's why he's able to wrap in those kicks with such power. And that's going to play into Duncan's takedown game if Duncan chooses to. Nice kick.
Duncan's head kick is just so fast. Think of how much distance that foot's got to cover, and it does it lightning quick.
Steps back. He was a little bit out of position there, was Duncan. He needs to move off the side. It's the thing with Dan Sweetwhite. He's kind of lulling you into this forward-backward game, straight lines.
Oh, we might have a broken
his foot.
Very, very swollen foot.
Shoot. Oh, darn it. Yeah, that's it.
He wants to keep fighting.
He had to stop for the safety of the fighter. I don't think that be hard to fight another 3 rounds with that fight. Look, he can barely stand on it. Oh.
Oh, the ref's letting it carry on. I love it. I love it. Duncan's got a foot stomp. I'm sorry, it's just the way it's got to be now, Duncan.
He's got to be careful here.
Oh, Dan Sweet-White, I think he's aware of the danger, and he's going for a broke, looking for a leg lock, looking for something. He's going to hang on something and absolutely 100% go for it. This is such good strategy from Dan White. He can't stay on his feet. All of a sudden, he's trying a straight foot lock.
I'd love to see Duncan go for the same on that hurt foot.
Yeah, this is true. It's a little bit of the you broke my foot, I'll break yours. Duncan's going to be hard to sweep with that big left hand wrapped around him.
It's also going to be really hard as this round ends and the adrenaline subsides.
Yes, good work from Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan's on top. He's controlling the position.
This is where the sporting side of things comes in. You know, if Duncan got to side control, is it unsporting to punch him in the foot? Or stomp on that foot?
No, it's very hard. You see it very hard for Dan White to stand up. Duncan might.
If I was Duncan, I'd back away and ask him to get back to his feet, please. Stand up, Duncan.
There you go. Duncan looking to wrap the head, maybe take the back, maybe land knees to the body. He's got a strong cross face there. Making a little bit of a mistake going under the arm there, but it's not such a big one.
Duncan probably, the smart thing might be to stand up, and then, you know, clearly Dan can't put any weight on that foot, but Duncan's doing so well in these grappling exchanges that, you know, he could stay here. He's probably winning the round. Dan doesn't want to get back to his feet. He definitely doesn't want to get back to his feet. That foot's swollen, not doing much.
Jeez, look at it. Looks like he's got another foot growing out of his foot.
You got to give him credit. He's clearly got so much heart. He's broken a metatarsal or something serious, and he's still fighting, still giving it his all.
I'd be so gutted if I had abs like that and I wasn't going to be able to do hill sprints anymore. Real good show of heart here from Dan Sweet-White. Duncan Djillali looks to land the ground and pound, looking to end this fight here.
I mean, the smart thing for Duncan would be to try and get out of this position back to his feet, but he's landing big. Even just closing his feet to close that guard, it's putting pressure on that broken foot. It's got to be horrendous.
Yeah, I had a dislocated toe a few weeks ago, and it is horrible.
It wasn't that swollen though, was it?
No, not at all. Not at all. He's growing another foot out of his foot. I was just growing another toe.
I'm so interested to see how Dan gets back to his corner. I mean, the referee helping you up. That's got to be against the rules. Referee's having a good look at him.
No, it's... Oh, this is horrendous. This is harsh.
Referee Alan Jackson. Very experienced referee, you know. He's smart enough. He's going over, he's talking to the medic at the ringside. He's getting advice.
It's got to be his choice to stay or go.
I mean, in fairness to...
Oh, they're walking. Doctor's coming back in.
Dan walked over to his corner. He stood up in his corner, not on the stool. I mean, he's doing everything right to try and keep this fight going.
This is going to be a very hard fight to keep going now after the third round.
We've seen it before. We've seen in UFC. We've seen fighters with broken feet, broken toes, with their bones sticking out, and they were the adrenaline, the drive. You know, these are tough men. They will just keep going. And he stood there on his foot.
And Dan White is going to keep going. That's good.
I think if I was Duncan, I'd be targeting that leg, to be honest. It's unsporting, but I'd be kicking it. And then I'd kick the other leg, because he's clearly got all his weight on his right leg now, because his left leg can't support it.
That's time.
Oh,
that's the fight being called off
now.
It's his choice. And you know what? Honestly, for fighter safety, you want to be able to fight again in the future, mate. You want to have a good recovery, because that break could just be so much worse.
Man, he's got
You'd be looking at surgery or something afterwards.
So much heart.
That's a tough way. I know Duncan Djillali didn't want to win like that, but it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes in the MMA game. An excellent show of heart from Dan Sweet-White to see out that third round, and Duncan Djillali being very sportsmanlike to maintain the position.
Yeah, he didn't do anything unsporting, didn't go for foot stomps, didn't try and take advantage of it. You know, the smart thing would have been to stand up, and then, you know, Duncan didn't say to the ref, oh look, he can't move, and was trying to do anything to get the decision. You know, he's a true warrior himself, want to stay in there, but it's Duncan Djillali's night again, and I think Duncan was winning as well.
Wow. Doctor stoppage, I guess, or
Yep.
no? You decide not to continue.
I think he wanted to. I think there's the referee and the doctor and fighters are so tough. They will, some fighters will always carry on. We saw that in Dan Sweetwhite. Can't wait to see him back here. Maybe give him another shot.
A rematch. That's what everyone's got to say. Rematch. Jeez.
He's shuffling out on the ring. It's the right stoppage.
So at the end of the third round, we have a doctor stoppage due to a foot injury. And your winner and new Batterino World Bantamweight Champion, Duncan Djillali. And please make some noise for Dan Sweetwhite.
Put them on your shoulders. Put them on your shoulders. Get your photo first.
Go on then, Duncan, come and have a chat, bud.
Yeah.
Not the way you would have liked it to have finished, but still got the win. You've got to be happy with the win.
Yeah, I was joking in the change room saying I'll take it, even if it comes by way of DQ or doctor stoppage, but the size of his foot, guys, you can't see how bad that was. He did a whole round on that foot, so I'll give him the rematch as soon as he wants it. That was a lot of fun until the injury happened. I had a couple of injuries a while ago and slowed down my fitness, and I felt like I slowed down in the second round, but I was going to carry on. I was going to do all 5. I'm happy to do it. I felt like I would have won, but congratulations to him as well.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. After that second round on that foot must have been pretty tough for him. So what's in the future for you now? What are you going? Are you defending these titles or?
Yeah, there's nothing else in my mind right now apart from giving him another go at this. He's come down. He's a big guy. I'm a tall guy, but he's a big guy. I'll give him the rematch here. Man, I want to get as many of these bantamweight belts I got. I had the featherweight belt. They stripped that out of me. They told me they wanted to move down. I think bantamweight's good for me. I've got the world and the British. My good friend Rob Masters got a European, so I won't go there. I'll take any other ones. Tom Gibbs got another one. I'll go for Richard Carlos. He's got the other one. The other 2 are my friends. I'll take Richard Carlos. Next one there.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it one more time for your winner and new World Batterino Champion, Duncan Djillali.